Death fucking sucks.
I don't know. I don't mind death. Like,
Why?
honestly, because I love life and I love the challenges of life, but because you're not even going to know that you're dead. So I think it's just like you hate death because of your perception of being alive, but you know what I mean?
Kind of, but I would say that for the people alive, we're the ones who have to suffer through the process that is death, especially in North America. Like, the systems and how we treat it are completely different than, say, like Mexico, where they celebrate the transition, because they see it as a transition.
But exactly. It's like, so basically it's even a cultural thing, right? Like how you perceive death. But like, the thing is, like, if everybody dies tomorrow, nobody's gonna know.
I mean,
I'm happy to live. I'm excited about life, and I'm excited about everything that I'm learning and, you know, growing and love and like everything that's amazing about life. But my point is just like, if you're not there, you don't, like, it can just suck because you can say that it sucked now.
Yeah. I mean, and in terms of calling it a perspective, it's also always kind of like a stop marker for the people who have to experience it, who are alive. So say, for example, I'm bringing it up because my friend passed away.
Yeah.
As soon as she passed away, it was an immediate marker of like, who are you? What are you doing? Are you doing what's valuable? Are you doing the things that you feel when you get that time upon you?
Yeah.
It's gonna make you go, okay, I did the things I wanted to do.
Yeah. Maybe. But at the same time, it's like, when you're gone, I mean, eventually, and it's not a negative thing, but like, we forget about you. We forget about things, right? Like, you're just gone.
Okay, pause.
It's okay.
Do you want to get a coffee?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm okay with dying. You know what? I'm not okay with suffering. I wouldn't want a long.
True. I mean, this is why I've dedicated most of my life to trying to be healthy in terms of like, what are you eating? Like, are you sleeping enough?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, feel isn't most people's priorities, but yeah, if I'm gonna come to that point, I want to be able to do it with the least amount of suffering possible, and to do it with as much grace as possible, which, you know.
And basically take advantage of that, because as a matter of fact, I mean, you know when I say like, you don't matter when you die, but at the same time, it matters a lot. So it's kind of a paradox, right? Of like, well, it's just that little piece of the universe, right? Like you're born, you die. It's like, I don't know, let's say like 100 years, but I think you do need to make the most of it, even though it kind of doesn't matter. It doesn't, but it does.
I mean, some people don't choose to make the most of it. Some people just float around.
Yeah,
and don't
a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been into a hospital with a bunch of old folks? Have you ever been in that ward? It's literally the most terrifying thing for me, and I have a triggering memory about it.
Honestly, I've never.
It's not fun because if you're a person who is an empath, you can feel the energy of regret, which is literally the only fear I have in life.
You see, I don't have regrets because I really believe that everything that happens, like, there are just lessons. I don't have regrets for anything, really.
This is the spot.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
It's pretty tight.
Coffee. I want, oh, they don't have espresso here. I'm just gonna do,
Hey.
hello.
Yo.
How are you guys doing?
We're good, how are you?
I am above average.
Above average, okay.
Yes.
I'm
Better
good.
than average.
Yeah. It's just a common thing I say to pet people up.
Oh, I see. I feel pet. Thank you. Yeah. What can I get you guys?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. But I want cream and 2 sugars. Are those like the sugar cubes? Is that what you're using? Yeah, I'll grab 2. No judging, please.
I will have just an Americano with a little bit of oat milk.
Okay.
And no microplastics.
No microplastic.
But
it comes with microplastic.
Oh,
delicious.
okay.
I'll leave it up.
Okay, yeah, just leave it on the side and I'll put it in later.
Americano, there's no espresso machine. No?
No.
I love this place.
I love microplastics. No, just kidding.
Okay, 2 coffees.
Oh, Sugar Mom.
We
Thank
have
you.
cash. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Aw.
This is my love language. I like to, and this is true actually. I don't want to receive it that way necessarily, but giving presents, I think you noticed.
Yeah.
Like I give
You're a
t-shirts and
gift
stuff like
giver.
that. I don't know why I like that. It's really my way. It's really my way of showing. I don't know.
My way. I don't even know what I think mine
No,
is.
it's touch.
Mine is touch for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think we all have like a
It's
bit
on
of
my dating profile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Physical touch. So if you don't touch me, the date is over in the first 10 minutes. Just kidding.
Wait, what do you mean on the first date?
No. There
Yeah.
is some things like I'll slowly walk behind
Yeah.
and get a sniff of their hair.
Oh my
Smelling
god,
someone's
that's
hair is
a little
definitely.
creepy though.
It's not. If they don't know, it's just an instinctual thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How much is it? Yeah, it's good.
You got it, yeah.
This is
Ooh.
for you.
Tip us.
Should I wait till like the sugar dissolves?
Oh, I started.
Oh, thank you. You did?
I started.
This is the best place
Hey,
ever.
yo.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, B.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, I like this place. It looks cute. It's dissolved for me. I love this. Yum! Delicious coffee.
Yes. So, where art thou?
Let's go to the fence thing. Like the thing, like the, I don't know how to call it, but like all around you, it's like a pass or whatever.
Okay, I know the
Like
park.
turquoise?
Yep, I know it.
Okay. Okay, so change of topic, but kind of random, but like, sometimes I look at my cats and I think how much more simpler the communication is because they don't fucking talk. And I find those so refreshing sometimes. Like, you're not pouring energy into the conversation. You just kind of like hear physically and they just have like such like clear boundaries. They just act on what they
Well,
want, and I find that so
Let's be honest,
refreshing.
cats just don't care. The
But
cat-
that's but they do though.
No, they don't. They're just, you're talking to them thinking you're having some stimulating conversation. The cat nothing's happening with the cat. It's like, oh, are you gonna feed me? Are you gonna pet me? Oh, I'm going the other way now. Like, I'm gonna go sit over here.
I know, I love that.
This is a really,
But they do care in the sense of like you create a bond with your cat. It's just it takes a while to like gain trust. It's very different,
okay, true.
But they care in the sense of like, of course, yeah, because
I mean,
you feed them and like,
I'm a cat person. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I prefer cats over
yeah,
dogs.
Yeah.
Probably because I grew up with one for 20 years.
Yeah.
I love cats. And I also learned wisdom of cats.
Yeah.
My dad told me, he said, the one thing you need to know about women is they're kind of like cats. Don't ever close the door and lock them in the room. You just leave the door open and they'll come when they feel like it and they'll
No,
leave
but
when
I
they
agree.
feel like it.
I agree.
So if
like
you, and when I grew older, that became more wisdom. That became an actual piece of wisdom where I went, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
He was absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I'm single.
And maybe not only women, maybe all people, but I know, men are different than women, but
Yeah.
I think generally, like in relationships, you don't want to push. You really let people kind of figuring things out, because like most of the time it's
We're always
it's
trying to
personal
figure things
things.
That's literally
Exactly.
what relationships are, is a process of figuring things out.
Yeah.
And ideally, you're figuring these things out together
Yeah.
and not separately, because as soon as you start doing that,
Yeah.
that's usually when a relationship ends, because they say, I'm not in the same place as you, or I can't. I love this guy's shirt.
But I mean,
For
oh
Pedro.
yeah, what a great movie.
good old
That's a
fashioned
movie
thing.
that's like, you hate it or you love it. The first time I watched it, I loved it. It's so fucking weird. The character, because it's like there's a bit of a story, but it's really about like
It's really
just
about nothing.
being weird.
Yeah,
Him
what
just
even
being
is it
weird.
about? I don't even know.
Well, it's like being a loser in school and like, and
Have you ever seen?
but he's like a loser who doesn't give a shit. Like he's not a loser who doesn't, because he does a talent show in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a loser that wants to stay. Like he's bold about he doesn't care what people
True.
think.
True. Have you ever seen the movie Donnie Darko?
Yes, but it was a while ago, so I don't remember.
That
All
was
of it.
that movie was a trip. Actually, it's one of my favorites growing up was
Yeah.
that. Also because
Well, yeah.
and like think about how low budget that was. Like this
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
entity that persistently comes back is literally a guy in just a bunny head. The
So
bunny man.
what? But what did you like about it? Kind of like what's
It was tying in the themes again of death.
Yeah.
And remember, it's kind of a time loop at the end. To just, you've seen it, so it's not a spoiler. But he dies. The plane engine falls through the roof and kills him.
Okay.
And so he stops the loop that kept happening of all the suffering by letting himself die. So it was it was about sacrifice. So that was my interpretation of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it just made me think of like that was the whole tie into consciousness. It's like, what is consciousness? And like, he's aware of this time loop. Like, he
What
could
do you
actually remember the little like snake. It was like the time snake. Like he would
It's too
follow
long
it.
ago. I don't remember. Honestly, like I don't remember that
Oh,
much.
okay. Anyway, it made
Yeah.
me think of, and it made me think a lot about death at an early age and consciousness and what is consciousness.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what I think about every time I wake up in the morning. I don't know if that's totally common or not, but I think like, oh, what is consciousness?
I
Like,
don't think about death that
No?
much. And like this, like these podcasts or whatever, like successful people, they say that like thinking about death is a good thing because you kind of like think about time running out and like what you want to do. And I've been thinking about that a lot because I used to be a pusher. I still am. Like
What's
I
a
want to do
pusher?
things. I want to be productive. I want to make things happen and stuff like that.
okay.
And I'm very, and I love that because I love doing things. But another part of me right now is like, well, what if it's like okay to just kind of be, to just live?
Yeah.
And actually, it's almost kind of like coming back to cats or to animals. Sometimes like they're just living.
I mean,
Like, do
now-
you need to be doing so much? What if it's okay? Because like we live in this society, so then
Yeah.
you need, but
So
what
I
if,
would say
like-
living in the now, right now, is probably. Hold on, pause.
What?
Sniff that.
Oh,
It's rosemary.
wait. Oh,
No
wow.
big deal. Put that in some tea and
That
smoke
smells
it.
so strongly.
Now is the best time to be present because I think the flow of information is coming so fast
Yeah.
in terms of like the internet and phones and blah that
Yeah.
and like, oh, we went from the cove, from the time we won't speak about to like strikes and war,
Mm-hmm.
that now is the time to be as present as possible and as peaceful as possible
Yeah.
because the future that the boomers had, aka our parents,
Yeah.
is not our future anymore. You can't. I'm gonna have a retirement, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
save my pension plan
Yeah.
and my PPP. That era is dead. It's done.
Yeah.
I think it's been done for a while,
Yeah.
and a lot of people won't acknowledge that. But we aren't going to have that gift. So right now, it's about being as present as possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can still try and plan a future to a degree.
Yeah.
And,
But I think, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off
No, it's
because
fine.
I think I'm more thinking about like, and that's because maybe how I view it, like the value of a person, like, are you more valuable because you're successful and do this and you make money and like, which also can be like, you're
Sure.
passionate about something, not just making money, but you're kind of like, you created something of value. And like, does that make you a more valuable human than if you just, The sun. Well,
technically being good
Yeah.
at playing the drums or playing guitar or playing flute or
Yeah.
being a professional craftsman is a person of value, not necessarily creating
That's so
money
nice.
is about, yeah, it's nice.
yeah, what is value, right? Like, according to who, kind of.
Yeah, true. I try not to get lost in that thought of like, am I creating value? Am I,
Well, because that's why I'm talking about this is because like, I often feel guilt if I don't have a productive day, if I'm not, and I'm letting go of that, but I think that there's often like this need to prove myself to the world and to my parents. Like we all have like our,
Yeah.
issues with that. And like, if I like, and basically like being somebody, meaning being seen by others, right? A recognition of like what you do.
Yeah.
And like the difference between that and just like you being a loving person, you being a good friend, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of realizing that's value to me more than like you being a great actor and like having all these gigs and like.
Yeah. I know.
I
I am on the same page, and yeah, I think we're both on that same page, and I think we're both doing those things, and we're trying to accomplish things, but at the same time, we're trying to build ourselves up so we can have the value to offer each other, which is what I would consider actual happiness.
Yeah,
and being content is building up the things that make the people that you care about feel cared about and feel valued, and that is what I consider a person of value. Someone with that skill set.
And I think it's actually like that link is like the more you let go of like, let's say really just being productive and being recognized, whatever, but it allows you to connect to what you really love and what you're meant to be or whatever you call it, but something that, like a calling, like something that you feel in your gut that you need to do, that you want to do.
Yeah.
And like through that, it's not that you're looking to create value or you're looking to be productive. It's just like you are because you love doing that thing. You love that process of that thing. And going that route makes you also like a better person, a more positive person, a more loving person.
I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna do that thing.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go with the flow.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep
Value.
stuff.
Value and depth. We're all about depth and value here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pause. Look both
What?
ways. Assess if there is danger coming.
I think we're
Look for
good.
children. Look for school zones.
That's a badass
Back and forth.
van.
It is a badass van. It's kind of a rapey van, actually. Those are the vans that kind of scare me when they've been sitting there for like 3 weeks every time you walk by. And then the one day you see a person in it and you're like, oh, shit, have you been there the whole time? So have you been keeping up with disclosure? And by disclosure, I mean, we all know now that A, UFOs are real, and it's been acknowledged by governments. B, that ETs are likely real.
Yeah.
And we don't actually know. That's not cool.
Oh.
The cycle of life and death right there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking a lot about. Are they?
But I mean-
are they walking? B, C, D. Are they walking amongst us? And
Yeah.
are they actually in human form, or are they extra dimensional?
Yeah.
Are they even existing in this plane of reality?
Yeah.
And do maybe us perceiving them in the sky isn't actually seeing a UFO as like a physical disc? It could be something way more vast, but because it's on a dimension, say, higher than us, that's what we perceive as a disc.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
actually, it's probably, it could be a giant box with a disc in it, and like it's our perception of it. And I really want that answer now, because I feel like all of that disclosure and all of the technology and all of the insight that can come from that could revolutionize overnight this entire planet.
I mean, it could, but
Like energy systems and.
But honestly, even without that, I feel like we can probably do it. It's just, it's never a matter of like if you can or can't do it in terms of governments or powers and stuff like that. It's the fact that they don't want it to happen.
It's always like, what the first application? Is it military? Is it gonna be?
Yeah, it's like
can we make space lasers? Let's make tanks that can go invisible and it's never about, hey, let's create such an amazing, intricate network of free energy systems that every person is taken care of.
Yeah.
All of their basic needs are taken care of.
Yeah.
Like food, water. Like that's a big thing to deal with now. Is like we can't get clean water to communities. Like yes, we can. If we focus
I
all of
totally
the
think we
trillions
can, yeah.
in resources,
You
we
can go
could,
to the moon, but you
Seriously.
can't fucking like.
But hey, we stopped going back to the moon in what, like 1969? Or maybe 74, I don't know. It was one of those dates. And we stopped for what, 30, 40 years? Why?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
yeah.
it could have been constraints because of
I mean,
budget.
did we go on the moon?
I mean, yeah, it's like, is the Earth
I
round?
don't.
I think we did because at the time it was the Cold War. They had to prove to each other who was
I
the
think we did
superior
too.
superior technical force, and they invested the money. I think one of the reasons
Yeah.
we didn't go is because the money stopped flowing that way because no one cared anymore. We did it. You know, Cold War ended, blah, blah,
Well, it was
blah.
also like the first one who does it, I think, at that time, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the competition.
And I always wonder that. That's the conspiracy theorist in me that goes, oh, did we actually build something there?
Yeah.
Are they still going there? Because there's a bunch of
Well, the
rocket
truth is
launches
we
that
ca-
happens that we're not allowed to know about
Yeah.
where it's going or where it took off
Yeah.
from. They're not all launched from Cape Canaveral, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they,
Well, truly, there's no way to know anything.
oh God, I
Like the
love this
media.
sound. Oh, imagine this. Imagine we could make all tools like this saw sound like a
Yeah,
musical
I'm sure you-
instrument.
Oh, I was just gonna say like
Yes.
silent.
No, imagine we could make this hell sound actually something beautiful,
And
like
then you
a
can
harp
pick like songs
or have
whatever.
a beat. So all of the things you hear in construction sound like an orchestra.
My
So when
God.
you walk by a construction
Like no matter
site,
what, like no matter when they start whatever, like it's in a way that like it's all gonna play
yes,
together.
it all
wow.
somehow harmonizes.
Well,
I know that
AI is coming, so
I know that it, I know that
Well.
it would cost a lot more to put R&D into that, but I think that's a worthwhile cause for our daily stressors to not hear that hellish sound of like,
yeah.
like those sounds are just.
I think we should solve like world hunger before.
Yeah, we could solve world hunger right
I
now.
mean,
It's just a
but
priority.
yeah, to go back to that, I honestly think like
Priority.
obviously I don't know what's what's being hidden in the governments or whatever,
Yeah,
but
none
I'm
of
like
us
I
know.
feel like
It's all hypothesis.
I don't know, because now it makes me think about like money and how of an illusion it is, and like how we just like all the markets, and I don't know anything about it really, but I
know.
just know that it's kind of just created. It's just like some people deciding to like.
true.
Did you know that like
That's pretty much
the stock
every
market,
part
like,
of our life is everyone just arbitrarily deciding to do things and then
like
justifying it.
you're poor, you're rich, and it's like okay, so we have like we have a crisis, so we're gonna print some money, but hey, we cannot
Yeah.
print money for people that don't have money the rest of the year. Like what?
Yeah, but
like-
even printing money is based on the gold value that
Yeah, but that's just,
exists.
like,
So if we print
creation
more money
also.
than the value that exists, we
Yeah.
inflate
Yeah.
or the money
But
loses its value.
okay,
in
but
that
and
sense.
maybe it's because I don't know anything about it, but I'm just like this is all created by people. Why does it why is it doing inflation? That's just like we created the system.
I don't know. Like
You know what I mean? Like what
that's the thing.
it
is
makes I don't know. It just makes no
trying
sense
to
to me.
prioritize all these things and think about art and be creative
Yeah.
while the world is taking a dump on itself. It's just
Well, that's what
very-
you got to do though.
very difficult and yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
What
Focus
create?
Yeah, focus on yourself and on
It's hard. It's hard though. Like just
yeah.
living day to day right now is as far in the future as I think. I don't actually think past that because
No.
like even planning things something ahead of the week at the end of the week, I have a hard time sticking with it sometimes because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't feel this way or I don't feel creative this day, but having regular activities scheduled is what keeps me away from depression and anxiety. It's
Yeah.
like I know I can work out. I know I can take an improv class or I can play my
think-
musical instrument.
I think it's the best way because I think if you keep yourself happy, then like that's the energy that you like. Let's say you always keep like browsing YouTube videos about how the world's gone to shit and this and that. It's like that's the energy you're in, and that's the
That's true.
energy you share around. It's like what does that give you? You don't have any control anyways.
I
Like you
agree.
can't, you can't take
Yeah, those are
upon the.
algorithmic.
It's
Those are
way bigger than us.
showing
It's way
you-
higher than you. Like you know what I mean. So like if on an individual, I mean, kind of.
Are you on YouTube? Are you on X? Are you on?
Oh yeah, X.
What's the latest thing? I actually wonder what the next thing is, and if we will
I don't know,
ever
right?
get proper VR, because you know Zuckercuck is he's trying to create his meta fantasy where
Yeah, I
everyone's
feel
in
like it's not
we're
taking
scanned
off.
into VR and we're gonna exist in this culture and
Yeah.
and communicate like we're in person. You don't need to be in person anymore. You can live in
Yeah,
a
it's
cubicle
just
and talk
weird,
to someone in
man.
another cubicle.
Yeah, let's be even more connected, but more disconnected at the
Yeah,
same time
it's
than ever.
just an odd future, and I'm
I
here
mean,
for it.
this guy is just disconnected. Actually, it looks like a robot.